Hey folks, Ray from DCRaymaker.com. Here I'm testing out the new Strava Live Segments on GARMIN FR735XT running watch. This is the first wearable they've had to introduce live segments on it. It's also the first wearable they've had, or device at all, they've had that introduces running support. So I'm out here running. We're going to get down to this unit here. And the 735XT had its firmware updated this past weekend, but you couldn't actually really use the Strava Live Segments until just last night when that was finally turned on. So if you go into the training menu, you can see the live segments there. And I've only got like two hands, so it's kind of tough to do this in two hands. I'm going to go ahead and press the button to enter that. You'll see now I can choose cycling or running. So I'm going to go to running. And now I've got the Strava Live segments that I've favorited. In this case, I've got three different segments: the Bateau Boost, the DC Rainmaker Test segment, and the Berge. So these are kind of three segments that I've built nearby here. And the first one we go ahead and open up is this Bateau Boost, which is just around the corner here. And it's got a PR of 21 seconds, which is actually pretty slow for this. I just kind of created it based on some other runs I've done in the past. I can go down, I can look at the map for it. If I click to open that up there, you'll see that it's got again, there's no like map on the 735XT, so it's more just a dot of where I am and where it is. I'm going to go ahead, there's also elevation profile here. So if I open that up, you can see it's basically flat, which is exactly what this is here. Strava itself says that it's a bit more of a downhill incline, but it's pretty darn flat. It's right along the river. So that's kind of what you see there. And the same thing is true of cycling segments. So if I go into cycling here, I can crack that open, and again, all my segments are listed there that I favorited. So the way this works is just like cycling, except that it's not going to add the popular segments, or at least it hasn't for me anyways, meaning that anything that you start within Strava will show up here. You do have to have Strava's premium membership for this to work, just like the cycling side. So the way this works next is it'll actually give me pace information as I'm going along on the segment. So I'm going to go ahead and start a run like I normally would. So into run here, and I've got my run ready to go. Now, the segment that I'm actually going to run is just through this bridge here, and then kind of right where the all those people are, basically. This next segment from the trees and so on. So if I go ahead and press start here, what you'll see in a second is that it'll actually tell me that there's a Strava Live segment nearby as I start to go towards it. So here we go. Okay, so you can see it says approaching Bateau Boost, 131 feet, 118 feet, and so on. 82, 70, 62, 49. And there we go. It gives me the go. And at this point, in a second, yep, it'll show me the total distance ahead or behind, time remaining, and distance remaining. Or estimated pace, sorry. So, just gave me second complete there at 20 seconds. So I'm 0.00 ahead, and at that point, it's good to go. So since I didn't complete any sort of Strava course record on that, I didn't get any course record icon that you might have gotten for a Strava course record. I might try it a couple more times and see if I can get the trigger over. But as you can see, it gave me the status updates in real time during the actual segment itself. And then now that I'm done with it, it's gone back to normal. So kind of exactly what I expect. Very similar to how it works on the cycling side. A little different from something like the Wahoo Element, which allows you to check out your Strava segments kind of in a list, which would have been nice here to be able to see, you know, what that is compared to the course record and so on. But still, pretty cool. Okay, now that I'm properly warmed up a little bit, I'm going to give this another go, because I can't just leave it on like a tie. So, coming out the bottom here, it's going to loop around. I'm just going to let you watch the screen while I try to hit this. So, and under the bridge a little bit. I'm just going to go under the bridge, turn back around again, and then approach it to get the segment display coming up. Okay, here we go. So the segment starts just up here where those trees are. So there we go, 144 feet. And up we go. Okay, segment complete in 16 seconds. PR, 4 seconds ahead. I'll take that. Okay, so now that we completed the run, let's see if we can get any sort of confirmation of those segments. So I'm gonna go ahead and save. Saving this, not a very long run, but that's all right. So there we go, we see the battery boost at 16 seconds and a PR, that little symbol up above there, which is great. So it's showing me those segments on the watch itself. Of course, these are all sort of like semi-unofficial times. It says I need 14 hours recovery. That seems, I'm gonna call that pessimistic. Okay folks, it's just a quick look at Strava Live Segments on the 735XT while running. Selecting works almost exactly the same way. So that's just a kind of a quick look at how things work today. I don't know whether or not we'll see it on other Garmin wearables like the Fenix 3 series, for example. I certainly hope so, since that's a more expensive watch than the 735XT, but we'll have to see and see what happens there. Thanks for watching.